Hey everyone, Chris here with Clutter Reduction Junk Removal in Southeast Florida. As of yesterday afternoon, I had a repeat client reschedule from today to next week. So just like that, we don't have any jobs today. So we're gonna take some time to do some small things we have been pushing off. Number one being we're gonna update the website with some new photos. I may or may not change the format around a little bit. Every time I update my website, I end up spending a couple of hours on it, even though it's just one thing. But that's just what happens when you do it 100 times and you always do it yourself. And even though it looks like shit and probably performs like shit, I still do it myself and I'm so proud of it. So I end up putting a lot of time into it. It's probably not worth it, but what are you gonna do? In addition, we're gonna be posting some stuff on Mercari, which has been our alternative to eBay because eBay just sounds like it costs a lot of money to sell something. And Mercari seems a little bit more straightforward. And my fiance has been using Poshmark, so we got the grasp of how to do those things. And something I wanted to discuss is something I've been seeing pop up on the tubes lately. And I also saw a comment of it on a Reddit post. And I've had somebody ask me about it not too long ago on Instagram. So I'm going to share my thoughts on the situation. And it revolves around making more money on a junk removal job in addition to the job itself. So there are two things that come up when you think of making more money. There is a surcharge and an upcharge. A surcharge is what you would charge extra for if you had to go upstairs, or you had a long walk, or you have to bag up a bunch of items on the ground, or you have to sit there and disassemble something that's going to take you 20 minutes. Those are all surcharges. It's something you charge more money for because it's either going to be more of a hassle or it's going to take you longer than it should to get the job done. In junk removal, we charge by volume of how much room it takes up in the truck, not so much by time. So usually you have an allotted amount set aside for each increment of the load. I know the franchise average is 30 minutes with two guys per a quarter of a truck. So a half a truck should take an hour with two guys. A full load should take 2 hours. Obviously, that's for the franchises where they all have a similar sized truck. So if you have a smaller or larger vehicle, you may need to adjust your timing a bit. But if you are doing something and it's taking you significantly longer, let's say 3 hours to fill a full load, or an hour and a half or 2 hours to fill half a truck, you may want to charge for whatever that reason is that it's slowing you down, unless it's you and you're just inefficient. That could be the case. But if you have to walk across the parking lot, go up to the third floor, walk to the other side of the building, obviously every single trip you make is probably going to take you 5 to 10 minutes. And if you make 5 trips, that's an hour. So that's something you want to charge extra for. That's a surcharge. And they come at different prices depending on what people think is worthwhile for them. Nobody, I think, really does the same surcharge price for every single thing. So it's up to you to be competitive with your area. An upcharge, in my opinion, is that if you go on a job and you are already pre-designated to remove a sofa, maybe a table, and 6 chairs, and it's going to be $250. While you are there, you tell the customer, hey, so you're all set. I'm just letting you know that if you have anything else around the house, in the backyard, in the side yards, in the garage that you want to get rid of, I can add on another 2 cubic yards worth of stuff, and it's only going to increase your price $55 versus if I have to come back, our minimum price is $125. So it's more of just a way to save money right now since I'm already here. To me, that's an upcharge. You are taking something that you already have done and you're giving them an opportunity to give you a little bit more so you make a little bit more money. That is what I think an upcharge is. Now, those are the main differences in my opinion. And I would argue that I'm fairly accurate, but to each their own. Now, there is another thing that I like to promote, and I do it myself on most of my jobs if I don't think the customer is a mean person. And it's to upsell a job in terms of adding a service to it. So, for example, I'll speak on my experiences first. If I go to a house and I am removing a dresser from upstairs, usually if somebody is removing a single piece, that means they are replacing it. So I may ask the customer, are you just decluttering or are you getting a new dresser to replace this? Let's say they tell me that they're going to replace it. Maybe it's already down in the garage. They're just waiting to bring it upstairs. I may offer, well, while I'm here, I can bring it upstairs for you for 25 bucks real quick. 9 out of 10 times people say yes because they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to have to hire somebody else to come out to do it. If they have to hire an actual serviceman to come out, a laborer, they're usually going to have an hour minimum and it's probably not going to be 25 bucks. So since I'm already there, they've already seen me remove all their stuff. They know I can do stuff. They know I can work well. They may say, sure thing, let's tack it on to the bill. Or they just give me cash on the side, whatever it is. But that's like an easy upsell to make some more money on a job that you're already at. That's not going to take you a ton of time. Same thing could be said if you are efficient with hanging up pictures and mirrors on the walls properly, not just slapping a nail in it, but actually properly securing stuff or hanging TVs. If you walk into a house, maybe they just moved in and they're getting rid of stuff that they decided they don't want anymore, and you see all the pictures and mirrors on the wall kind of leaning up against it, you can ask the question, it looks like you just moved in. Are you waiting to hang all of these? Customer says, yes, we are. You could say, I happen to know how to do that. If you want, I can go ahead and take care of that right now. If you already have the hardware, I'll hang up all these pictures for 100 bucks. That's something they either say no and you say, okay, no problem. The offer is out there and you still got paid for your junk removal. Or they say yes and you spend an extra 45 minutes to an hour making 100 bucks doing relatively easy work. If you live up north and it's approaching the snow season, I assume Florida doesn't snow. I've only seen snow once, but it's almost September. So if you are pulling out an old couch and they're decluttering before the winter comes, and you notice a pile of firewood off to the side, kind of 150 feet away, you could say, hey, is that your pile of firewood over there? It's a good sized pile. That's some nice wood. I don't know, compliment it. And they say, yeah, it is. You know, the winter's coming. We're going to have to bring it on over here pretty soon. That's a good opportunity for you to be like, well, I got a hand truck. I can bring it all over and put it as close as you want. It looks like a 2 cubic yard pile. I'll do it for 100 bucks. It's either they're going to have to do it later on, which I would imagine most people don't want to. They can, I'm sure, but they probably don't want to. They may say, yeah, let's do it. Or maybe they're, penny pinchers and they say, nah, it's all right. We'll get you here. We'll do it when the time comes. But you put the offer out there. That's all you're doing. Worst thing, they say no. I know somebody that does handyman work. He has a pressure washer at home. He pressure washes his own driveway every couple of months because his HOA sucks. And he goes on jobs, and whenever he's doing stuff, he looks at the driveways. If they look kind of dirty, he'll bring up conversation to try to get the customer to say something about the driveway, and then he'll offer pressure washing. He will never just flat out say, I do pressure washing. He'll get the customer to say something about it, and then he'll intervene and say, well, I'm not a professional, but I do my driveway every couple months because my HOA sucks. I can come out and do yours for 100 bucks. That's an easy way to make a quick 100 bucks. And it's in addition to something you've already done. It's in addition to what you already paid to do initially. And the more services you can offer, the more work that you can do for one specific person, in my opinion, the better chances you have of not only getting a referral in the future for any service, but you're also more likely to get repetitive work. So I've gone to jobs where I do junk removal, I offer to bring this upstairs or I move it around, and then they give me a call back a couple of months later and say, hey, I don't have junk removal, but we need to bring a bunch of stuff to storage. Is that something you can do or are willing to do? And I say, sure thing. My minimum for a small job is $250. So depending on how much it is, it'll probably be that or it'll be closer to $500. I can kind of play around with it, send me some pictures. And I've gone out and done those jobs. And I make a quick $250 to $500 in a couple of hours. And it's all because it's in addition to my junk jobs. It's basically building a network of side jobs. And to me, that's a great way to upsell a job that may not be junk removal specific. It's not going to be like business money per se. So you can do if you need anything else added on for your business, and then do something for yourself. So that's my 2 cents on the subject. If you want to comment down your other 98, see what I did there? And put up some examples of something you've done in your area, whether you're in the Northeast, Southeast, Northwest, Southwest, middle of the US, where everyone forgets the states because we don't do geometry anymore in school. Comment down some examples you've done and what you try to look for and what you've had success with, so other people can look at it, get some ideas, and we can all make more money. So that's it for me. Thanks for checking it out. See you guys next time. Bye.